What's going on, everybody? I just wanted to talk about this movie here. It's called Fear. It stars Mark Wahlberg and Reese Witherspoon. And the reason that I wanted to talk about it will become clear very shortly. But in essence, it's just this movie is so bananas, okay? So I'm going to give you a little plot recap, so spoilers. We have Nicole, who is played by Reese Witherspoon. She is an innocent but rebellious teenager with tension in her relationship with her father, Stephen Walker, who is portrayed by William Peterson. Alright, at a rave, it's always a nice place to meet people, Nicole meets David McCall, who is played by Mark Wahlberg, who initially appears sweet and polite. Stephen distrusts David and objects to Nicole spending time with him, leading conflicts. David's true nature surfaces when he physically assaults Nicole's friend Gary.
From me feeling like I'd do anything to protect you.
From Gary?
I didn't know it was Gary.
And shoves Nicole, leaving her with a black eye. Nicole ends the relationship but reconciles after David apologizes. It's a great, always do that, kids. Always believe them after they've beaten you senseless. No, don't do that. Nicole confides in David about her strained relationship with her father, which David used to strengthen her hold over her. Stephen investigates David's background, discovers he is not who he pretends to be. Stephen confronts David, who taunts him about his overprotectiveness and makes lewd comments about Stephen's wife. David manipulates Nicole into believing Stephen assaulted him by self-inflicting bruises. Nicole sides with David, of course she does, and storms off in anger. Nicole discovers David's dark side when she and Margo's her friend, sees Margo giving David's friend a lap dance, and later, after being taken to David's room, Nicole interprets it as consensual, but it's actually not consensual at all. David is Satan himself. Nicole breaks things off with David for good and distances himself from both David and Margo. David stalks Nicole, molests her in a public restroom, and becomes increasingly threatening. Stephen breaks into David's house, discovering a shrine to Nicole in David's bedroom and vandalizing the space in anger. David and his gang invade Stephen's house to terrorize the family. David ties up Stephen and brings him to Nicole's room to force her to leave with him. Nicole fakes affection to distract David, allowing Stephen to free himself. A violent fight ensues, ending with Stephen throwing David out of a second-story window, and David dies. Very, very crazy movie. What's even funnier about this whole thing is this little tidbit that I learned about Leonardo DiCaprio. So apparently Leo was looked at for the role of David McCall, but he didn't think he was right for the role, so he put in a good word for his friend / co-star Mark Wahlberg to the director after working with him on the Basketball Diaries movie. And then Foley and Mark Wahlberg spent the day hanging out, discussing the part. Then Foley's the director. He was like, I don't really know about you. But then later on, he was like, I do know about you. You're the guy. And he offered him the part. So what I love about that is just that Leonardo DiCaprio knew how weird and crazy this script and this character was. And he was in the back of his mind just thinking, there's absolutely no shot in hell that I'm ever going to play a character that crazy. Please, Mark, why don't you take the bullet on this one? But of course he didn't say it like that. He probably said, Mark, I'm taking a bullet on this one. This is a great script. You should try this out. It's just a crazy movie. I mean, it makes me feel so uncomfortable the entire time. It's not even that good, from any standpoint. From a cinematic, movie making perspective, it's a very basic movie. There's nothing very interesting or different about it. It's just super creepy. I mean, sometimes I just wonder, who was this movie made for? But then I realize, movies like The Terrifier and Texas Chainsaw Massacre do exist. So, I guess it's just made just to be thrilling, just to get people's heart pumping or whatever, what have you. But it just felt gross the entire time. And not only that, but it was just sad. Mark's character is clearly just an orphan, who's got mental problems. I mean, the guy beats his chest until he's got bruises on it. So it's yeah, he's a bad guy and everything, but somebody help him maybe. you know, I don't know. It just, every time I watch that movie, I end up feeling just an empty hole in my body. And not very many movies can do that. So if you're in the mood for that, you know, this movie does exist. So have fun with it, I guess. I did not. Hey, I post twice a day, Monday through Friday. So you can subscribe to the channel and then you can see the next video. It's that easy. Seriously. Just subscribe to the channel, dude. Okay, bye.